don't even know if this is the best thing to do, but I don't know what the options are. I'm pretty sure I tried to do this before and I'm pretty sure it didn't work. What an umpty. Right, note to self, next time this plant is repotting, wait for help. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then thank you for joining. My name is Rihanna and this is a channel all about houseplants. Today I thought I would just do like a daily chores, day in my life kind of thing. I've got a lot of houseplants chores to do today. So yeah, I'm hopping on it now to do the intro and then I will cut to this morning when my day actually started. So I will roll that footage now. So this is how I normally start all of my days, walking through a beautiful woodland, walking the either 2 or 3 dogs, depends if my husband's taken Archie the brown cocker to work, but today it's 3. So yeah, it's early in the morning, there they are, and there's one down here. But yeah, it's early morning and I like to start my mornings off with a really nice long dog walk for them. Just to get rid of some of their energy because they are crazy boys. So yeah, this is how my morning begins.
Put your lips on mine. I love it when we hide. You feel the winds are turning round. 'Cause what goes up must always come back down. But I'll be safe in your arms, like the light in the day never part. I'm looking down the line.
So it is now much later on in the day. I actually have no idea what time it is. It's just gone 2, so I've had lots of like worky things to do this morning, which took much longer than I wanted. I was hoping to get filming like 10 o'clock this morning because I wanted to make the most of the light, because it's going quickly. Obviously it's now 2:10, so yeah, hopefully this is going to be okay. It is really awful outside. It's currently trying to snow and it has been trying to snow for the last few hours, so yeah, hopefully the light's going to be okay for this one. But yeah, I've got some big things that I need to get done and I thought it would be fun to bring you along with me. I desperately need to chop my philodendron Dean McDowell, which I am really scared of doing. I absolutely love this plant. It's massive and it is growing off of its pot so far now. It is ridiculous. I'll take you down there in a minute and show you what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's hanging off the pot by like this much and all the aerials are just like all over the floor. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do really, but I think my intention today is just to chop it and leave it, and then I'm going to do the same thing hopefully with my philodendron splendid. I'll bring that in here and then we can chop that one as well. But I think, I don't know, maybe I will do the full chop and extend on that one. I'm not 100% sure yet. But for Deano, I'm 100% just going to chop him and leave him because I want to give that plant the best possible chance. And I think that's going to be the best way to chop him, let him acclimatise like where he is, and then in a few weeks time I will then embark on the giant task of pulling this plant out and trying to potentially repot however many cuts I've got. I don't know. I'm obviously wanting to keep like the biggest half, or I say half, like part of the plant. Again, I don't know how I'm going to end up chopping it. There is already 2 plants in there because back along, I don't know when it was, but I did film it when I increased the pot size. It had 3 growth points, and as I was repotting it, one of them snapped off. So I basically replanted them so they're growing alongside each other. So there's already 2 plants in there, and yeah, we're going to need to just do some chops and make a lot more plants basically. And then my splendid, again I'll show you when we get there, but it's grown off the top of the pole again already, so that very much needs a chop. So yeah, let's start with Deano. I'll bring you down so you can see, hopefully you can see it is quite dark down there, but yes, I will do my best and we'll see what we end up with. Okay, I'm really hoping this isn't going to be too shaky because I don't have a gimbal. I'm just going to have to hold the camera. Please ignore all the mess down here. The bathroom is being redone, which means all my watering everything is currently in here, rather than in the bathroom where it normally is. So this is basically what it looks like down here. It's really, really busy. Just because at this time of year, I'm trying to make the most of the window, which is up there. So yes, and also the bottom of Deano, as lovely as he is, the bottom of him isn't particularly impressive. Obviously he's got really quite long petioles, so yeah, I tend to kind of fill in. That's what this Maranta and things like that, they're all just in the same pot, and I know it's really dark so I'm not sure how well you can tell, but I've got various like string of hearts and there's a fern in there. And yeah, these are things I've just put around the bottom, honestly to hide the pot because it's not very pretty. But yeah, this is the new leaf that's coming out. Obviously it's going to be absolutely huge. And then this is what I was talking about with the aerials. They are coming off the edge of the pot. So I think what I'd really like to do is get a pot and just place it here so that the aerials can actually grow into it, and then I could potentially maybe chop here or something. But like, look how thick this is. It's absolutely huge. So I'm not really sure, and also I don't have a pot that tall at the moment, so I might have to just sort of I don't know, find some kind of way of raising a pot up or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, let me just clear out what's underneath here and then we can have a look and see where we might need to chop. Okay, so this is what we are left with. So as I was saying, there are the 2 pieces here already. And then there is another growth point, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see because it's right at the back, but it's basically over there. There's another growth point going in the opposite direction. And yeah, this plant is just massive. Obviously this is big enough, and then I've got 2 other plants in there. There's loads of leaves back here which need a really good clean off. They've got there's bits on the leaves that is from a pest treatment that I was doing, so that is supposed to be there. But yeah, I mean, I did water this the other day in preparation because I wanted to make sure it was nice and hydrated. Honestly, I do not know where to start. Hold on a minute, I'm just saying that that's the growth point over there. I think it's actually pushed out another growth point. I think that's a new one. Because there's 2 here, there's one there and one there, and then obviously the big one here. So that means this plant now has 4 growth points, which is a little bit crazy. This planter is 80 centimetres, just to give you an idea of how big this actually is. Yeah, so I'm just having a look, trying to figure out where I'm going to cut. I'm thinking I want to kind of cut this one. I don't know how well you can see. Is it going to focus? No, it wants to focus on that. But yeah, that down there, I'm thinking I might cut, but then at the same time, it hasn't got very many roots. So I don't know if this is a root hanging out there, but it doesn't look like there's a huge amount of roots. So maybe if I cut that one, it would be a case of actually potting that up today. Maybe I should start there. I mean, I am slightly worried because it is pushing out a new leaf and I don't really like to do things when things are pushing out new leaves, but honestly this plant, it's always pushing out new leaves. I don't necessarily know that I've got a choice. So I think we'll do that. I think I'm going to chop. It's really thin over here before it started to mature and get really, really chunky. There you can just about see. That is where I'm going to cut. Yeah, I think we're going to start there, see what the plant looks like. I mean, I definitely do need to chop this chunky bit here. I just don't know where. This is actually sort of buried under here, which I didn't, when I planted it up, I was really careful to make sure that this was on the surface, and I think where I've been watering and the soil was kind of displaced, it's built up around the stem. And actually, again, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see, but that doesn't look particularly happy. That looks like it's potentially, I was going to say rotting actually, but it's really firm, so maybe not. But I'm definitely going to scrape away this soil once I've finished, because I don't want the soil up against the stem. Crawlers are supposed to do exactly that, crawl along the surface like this one is, and like this one has started to do up here. They are not supposed to be buried underneath it because they will rot. Okay, so let's start with that cut over there and then we will see how we go. Okay, I've put you on the tripod. This isn't the best angle, but it's literally the only way I can think to do it that you might be able to see something. So we're going to go ahead and chop exactly where I said. I'm going to hold onto this and hope it's not going to flop over that way. Okay. So I've chopped it and it's not coming off. So there obviously are some roots. Yeah, I can see the root there. So what I'm going to do is just take another chop, because it's rooted right at the back near the first chop, but the newer part of the plant hasn't rooted. So I'm just going to chop again so I can get the weight off, and then I might have to dig around in here and get the root out. Okay, so it's slightly more rooted in here than I thought it was, so I'm just going to basically keep doing that until I can get the front of this plant off.
Put your lips on mine. I love it when we hide in the pale blue sky.
Okay, so I'm realising this plant has way more roots than I thought it does, and literally every single node that I have just cut is rooted. This one is the newest leaf, absolutely beautiful. And obviously this is the one that was pushing out this giant leaf, so I do not know how big this is going to be. But can you see? Hang on. These are the roots that it had, and I've actually snapped one. One of them I didn't, but one of them I did. So yeah, the roots are very, very long. So I'm just going to keep going because I don't really have an option now. I've made all the snips. Just keep going and try and get these nodes out without disrupting the rest of the plant too much. So yeah, wish me luck.
It's just as good as up there. Gonna keep you near, 'cause you're all I need, my dear. Do you feel the winds are turning round? 'Cause what goes up must always come back down.
Okay, so I've basically just had a complete and utter change of plan. So as you could probably tell, I'm assuming I would have fast forwarded that footage or something, I have pulled out so many plants because I just figured while I was in here disturbing the roots, I should probably just get on with it, and rather than like disturb them then disturb them again. So what I've actually done is taken off those, I can't even remember what it was now, 2 or 3 other growth points. So now in here I have just got the main stem, and I'm kind of thinking I might just do the basically repot it now. So take the plant out, pull it back in its pot and place it back in, because then this is the front half of this will end up in the pot, because I've got probably like, I don't know, 8 inches at the back of this pot where the plant could move back, which would sort this problem out. So I think I'm going to do that now. Not what I intended, so I'm going to have to like reset the room up because I have made so much mess. The soil was just like pinging everywhere. I've got soil in my eyes. It's literally all over me where I was like pulling the roots out and they were pinging. Unfortunately, I did break some roots. There wasn't really very much I could do about it. But yeah, I'm gonna set up now for repotting Deano. So yeah, I'll catch you in a second. Okay, so I'm having another change of plan because I can't sort Deano out because I have nowhere to put all of this stuff. So when I say stuff, I mean a huge amount of cuttings I've just created. So I'm going to pot these up first, get them moved, and then we can bring Deano out here and then repot him. So I've just grabbed some pots and some potting mix. A potting mat would have been a good idea, but I feel like I'm kind of too far gone now because there's soil everywhere. So this is my soil mix. I've got leca and some more pots here. Sorry this angle isn't great, I just don't know how else to get everything in the frame. So I think we're just going to have to go with it. Yeah, so slightly bigger pots in here. I'm hoping that I've got enough of the right sizes. And I'm also hoping that these aren't going to be too top heavy because this plant, as you can see, is very long. So I'm going to take things like this off, which is just the old leaf caterpillar. And then I don't know whether to get like quite a few of them potted up in here, maybe starting with this biggest one with the newest leaf. Maybe get some of the big ones potted up in there because I don't want to keep moving this one around with that new leaf emerging. I do not want to upset it, so I haven't got too much leca because I haven't got around to rinsing any more out. So I'm just going to fill up the bottom of the pot with leca and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so I don't have a potting mat, so I'm just going to like pot straight in here and hopefully not get too messy. So I'll move that now. Right, just going to scoop some soil in the bottom. I might need to actually mix this because I've just remembered the last video I did was my euphorbia. I don't know if that's going to be posted before or after this, which was a cacti, and obviously it's a succulent. And I had too much mix left over and I just put it in the top of this bin and I didn't mix it in. I remember distinctly thinking that I should because I would forget, and I have. So let me just give this a mix. It's not going to matter at all, it's just got a lot of really well draining things in here. So it's not going to be an issue that I've mixed it in with this, but yeah, let's just give it a mix. Because my normal mix that I had in here was more sort of set up for aroids. Okay, so let's go with that. Oh, and then gently, I don't know how much you're going to be able to see. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And then as I was saying, I want to leave the stem on the surface of the soil. I don't want to bury it. Oh, I don't know how to hold this because it's all top heavy. So I'm going to do that, and then the next biggest, I honestly have no idea. Maybe this one? Fairly big, that one. Put that one in. Try and get the roots in the pot. This is going to be quite difficult to hold these up, I think. And I might put another one in just because I wouldn't normally, that's quite overcrowded. But there are so many cuttings here, I think I'm going to have to kind of cram them in a little bit. More than I would usually, or more than I'd like to do. So I'm just trying to hold these. I don't know how much you can see. I can't see anything. Trying to hold them on the surface how I kind of, the level I want them to be at. And then I'm pushing the roots down in the pot. So hopefully I will now be able to cover those with soil. And the stems are kind of floating above, ready to just sit on the surface. And I think I'm going to end up having to stake possibly all of these. We'll see how we get on. Right, okay, so again I'm just pulling these up, making sure they're not getting buried as I go. Right, so now I don't even know if I dare let go of this. No, I need to not let go of it, okay. Which is kind of an issue because I don't have anything to stake these with in here. I might just have to lean them up. I might actually do that. I might lean everything up against the wall and then I can kind of like sort all of the stakes out off camera because I don't think that's going to be very interesting. Yeah, okay, let me try and do that, but that is the first one. Can't really see a lot because I'm having to hold them, but anyway, there's 3 cuttings done there. Okay, so that's 3 cuttings down, and then I'm just going to make a start on these ones. I'm going for the biggest pots that I've got available. This was, I think it's a 1 litre. That one I believe was a 2 litre. So I've got leca in the bottom. Just put some soil in there, and again, I'm going to go for the biggest cuttings I've got, start there. Okay, so that is that one, and then try and grab the biggest, this one. These ones that I'm doing at the moment have all got roots, by the way. There were a few that came off that didn't have any roots. Either they didn't have any roots or they did get ripped off, unfortunately. Okay, I would like to put more than just 2 in here, but honestly, I feel like I might be pushing it because of the amount of roots in this pot already. These ones were very rooty. Maybe unless there's one that has very minimal roots. This one just has a tiny root and it's not a very big cutting. Little diddy one. I think it's actually going a bit yellow, so we'll see how that one does. We'll just put him in with these ones. And then again, I'm just going to fill up with soil and then just keep pulling these stems up. Okay, so again, I'm just pushing it down quite hard, trying to get these plants as stable as I possibly can. And yeah, again, I can't really let go of them. But yeah, that is the second pot. So 3 cuttings in that one as well, so that's 6 down. And then these ones, again, I'm just pulling the caterpillars off, so there's just less chance of anything rotting. And that one has no roots. That one has no roots. And then this one is a double, which actually I think I might snip. I just didn't while I was taking it off because it was just easier. They came out together. But if I can find my snips, here we go. I think I'd just rather have 1 node cuttings. I just think it's easier. So this pot will have 3 in as well. Obviously these pots aren't going to do for these plants for very long. These are not long-term solutions. Obviously being crawlers, they really need trough planters or something like that. I'm just putting them in these pots basically just to get them established on their own as their own individual plants. And then I don't really know what I'm going to do with them all. So this is 9, and then I've got 10, 11, that is 1 plant, that's 12, but obviously that has 3 nodes on it. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to cut that one up or not. We will see when we get there. Oh. Right, okay, 3rd pot, cuttings 7, 8 and 9. Okay, so those ones don't have roots. The last ones with roots are these, and I'm not sure whether to chop them or not. I think I might, to be honest, just because I'm already having an issue with one that is far, far too long, so kind of just makes sense to chop it now. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to chop those into 3 individual cuttings, and then we will have 3 pots of 3. Hang on, I'm just wondering, does this have 2 nodes on here? No, it's fine. Okay, I should also mention I should be leaving these to callus. As always I'm not, but best practice is to leave cuttings to callus once you've snipped them. Bigger pot. Right, okay, so that's the last pot of the rooted cuttings. So that is 10, 11 and 12. And then I've just grabbed my moss. This is sphagnum moss from Soil Ninja, and I will put both of these cuttings, there we go, sorry, so far away from the camera, but yeah, they're both unrooted, so I'm going to just pop them into, I don't know which pot, possibly that one. I suppose I don't really need a big one. Honestly, I don't know how well you can see down here, but the carpet is an absolute state at the moment. I definitely should have grabbed a potting mat. I am going to plant these ones a bit deeper because I don't think they're going to have any chance of standing up, so I'm going to completely surround the node with sphagnum moss, which obviously is not what I would advise doing with soil, but I think you can kind of get away with it with sphagnum moss a little bit. I just find it's easier to root plants that way, and then obviously when I transfer it into soil once it's rooted, I will put the nodes on the surface. And I am going to wedge this in quite a lot, which again I don't like doing, particularly with sphagnum moss with propagations, but I think they're just going to fall over if I don't, so I don't have a lot of option. Okay. Right, so that is those two. As I said, they're really dirty. It was a pest treatment for, what was it? Spider mites, and they basically came in this like almost test tube thing, and I had to sprinkle them all over the leaves, so that is what is on my leaves, if you can see there. Don't know if it's showing up, but that's basically what, and I put lots on Deano because he had a couple of spider mites and I did not want them infesting the entire plant, so I like chucked them on. But they're all gone now, so these can be rinsed off. I will be rinsing them off soon. Okay, so I feel like that was phase 1 of this video. Now we're going to be moving on to phase 2, which, as I said, I wasn't even planning on doing, so just hoping this is going to be fine. So yeah, I've ended up with 2, 4, 5 pots of Dean McDowell cuttings with 3 in each. No, 3 in 4 of them, and one of them has the 2 propagations. So yeah, quite a few cuttings. I don't know where I'm going to put them. I am struggling for space as it is. I don't know why I have just made that many cuttings, but this is what I do. I like propagating. So yeah, now I'm going to pull him out, and we're going to basically try and just shunt him back in that pot so that he's got some more room at the front to grow. I will try and set this camera up as best I can. I have no idea how I'm going to do it yet because it's such a huge plant, and obviously I can't film over from over the top because his leaves are too big. So I will figure that out and be with you in a second. Okay, I'm coming at you from like behind Deano because I have fiddled about with the camera and I think this is kind of as good as it's going to get. Maybe that would be slightly better. He's really wobbling towards you. He wants to actually be up like this and he's leant all the way over here, so I'm really quite worried about that. The doorbell's just gone, of course it has. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, right, I'm back. I have no idea how much of me you can see, probably not a lot, but I don't want to touch anything because I feel like it's going to fall over. So I've got a support in here, which I'm going to have to take out and just hope it doesn't fall over. I honestly don't really know what to do. I think I might have to scoop some of the soil out at the back so that I can make some space so I can put it backwards. I honestly don't know what I'm doing. Okay, right. Let's grab my empty lacquer container. That was quite handy that I didn't get any sorted out, otherwise I would have had nowhere to put all of this. Right, and I need a scoop. If only I'd thought of this before I'd wedged myself in this gap. Okay. Right. Now, let's just try and scoop. It's going to be really hard because obviously there's loads of roots in here. I don't even know if this is the best thing to do. I feel like that's going to take a very long time. But I don't know what the options are. God, these roots are flipping huge. I don't know if you can see, but honestly they're massive, so I don't know whether to actually kind of move some of them so I can get in. Oh god, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't actually know how this plant got so big. Like, I feel like it really wasn't that long ago that it was literally in like a size pot like the ones I've just potted up those cuttings in. It was not a very big plant when I got it, and I feel like it wasn't even that long ago. This plant is just absolutely crazy. If you have a sort of dark-ish corner in your house and you don't have an issue with crawlers, 100% recommend this one. It just will grow for you. It just will. I'm pretty sure, now I'm doing this, now I'm talking about like shunting the whole plant backwards. I'm pretty sure I tried to do this before and I'm pretty sure it didn't work. I think, I don't know whether it was in this pot or when it was in its smaller pot. I have this memory of like doing this, so I guess I had the same thought, the train of thought about shunting it backwards. And yeah, I have a feeling it didn't work. Oh yeah, because it was way heavier than I thought it was going to be. I've done the same thing again. Okay, well, I don't think I have a choice at this point. I think yeah, that's right. And I remember saying in that video, I wish I'd waited till my husband was home because this is definitely a two-person job. And now the plant is way bigger, in a bigger pot with bigger foliage. And here I am trying to do it again on my own. What an umpty. Okay. I'm literally scooping out like half a handful at a time here, trying to dodge roots. I think I will end up fast forwarding this part or just jumping ahead to where something's actually happening. So yeah, I will see you once I've finished doing this, and hopefully it's gone to plan. Okay, so change of plan. I don't think that's going to work because I'm just now remembering what happened last time and it was like impossible then and it's so much bigger now. I just don't think it's going to happen. What is that? What are you? No, it's okay. It's okay. I thought it was a mealie. It's not. It's not a mealie. So I think I'm going to have to tip this on its side. I don't know how much you can see. I don't think you can see. But I put my potting mat down there. It's 100% not big enough. But I think I'm just going to have to go for it and clear the mess up afterwards. So I'm going to tip this plant on its side and put it out. Which I'm not feeling confident about, if I'm honest. I'm going to put the lid of one of my boxes here in the hope that it might pick up some of the soil, and I'm going to grab the other one and do the other thing, and I'm going to grab the other one and put the other one on the other side, but I think soil is going to go everywhere. Literally, this video is how not to do houseplant chores. Maybe we'll call it that actually. You'll know by the end of the video. Well, you'll know, obviously, because you've clicked on it, but if I've decided to call it how not to do houseplant chores, honestly, the carnage that is about to occur. Okay, right, let's tip it. Okay, so as I was just about to tip it, my memory card ran out of space, so I've just changed my memory card, haven't tipped it yet. So yeah, let's do it and just honestly hope. I'm just moving some of these massive leaves because they're going to get squished. Oh, I don't know what to do. I can't do anything. Should have thought about it more. Right, okay. We're half tipped up. Is it going to go the rest of the way? Not really. Okay. I just don't want to squish these massive leaves against the floor. So but if I don't, I've got to literally keep my arm supporting them the whole time I'm doing this, which I feel like might be a bit unrealistic, but anyway, let's try. Right, so I'm just taking the supports out that were still in, and then honestly, I don't know. It's got a tray underneath it, which oh my god, where's that come from? Oh my god, did you guys see that? I wasn't looking at the viewfinder. That was coming out the bottom of the pot. I don't even know if you can see. Look at it. It's come out the bottom of the pot and was just on the... Oh my god. Right, I'm just actually seeing this for the first time. Oh my lord, the bottom of this. Oh my god. There are so many roots coming out of here. Oh my god. Okay. It looks like this root's kind of a bit mush, so it might have to come off. That is crazy. Okay, so that actually just makes me feel a bit better. I'm just going to rest here because I'm a bit tired. That actually makes me feel a bit better because that means my original plan wasn't going to work, so I would have had to have done this anyway. So I feel slightly better about that. Oh my god, right. How is this going to work? I need it to tip and it won't because of the shape of the bloody trough planter, and I can't lift it up because I'm too weak. Ah, okay. I've got underneath it. Right. Oh, these plants are just going to get mushed. Plants? Leaves. I'm just wondering if there's something I can like put here to hold them up. Anything? Oh, I wish you guys could actually see the full extent of this. How ridiculous this is. There's like these 3 massive leaves that are like 4 times the size of my head that I'm just having to hold up. Okay. Oh god. Okay, this side I'm having a bit more success with. This side is actually moving. Oh my goodness me. Right, note to self, next time this plant is repotting, wait for help. Okay. Just got to get in here, I think. God, the roots are huge. Again, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but like, just so thick. And there's nothing to pry this side out with because there's no foliage attached to it, so I'm just going to have to kind of grab a handful of soil and roots It's kind of working, it's kind of working. My issue is those roots that were coming out the bottom of the pot. Right, so both ends are out. I've just got to try and push the middle out. Oh, no, I need to have a rest. I need to have a break. Right. Come on. We're nearly there and my battery's going to die and I really don't want that to happen after doing this. So I need to just get a move on. Right. Are we nearly there? Oh, we're nearly there. Oh my god, I've done it! Whew. Right. Plant is free of pot. I just wanted to share like the absolute... This is all stuff that would be in the bathroom, but the bathroom's being renovated, so like everything is in here. These are all the plants that I've moved out from underneath Deano, plus some of them live here anyway. And like there's just, look at the stuff everywhere. This is what we're left with, which, you know, kind of to be expected. There is just the carnage that I've created from doing one repot. It's just absolutely insane. This is the part where I question why houseplants are my hobby and why I couldn't have just been into colouring or something where you just need some pencils and a colouring book, but hey ho. Right, so I think that's a kind of a good angle if I can get this camera to stop moving. Hang on. It's because I'm behind it, so I'm doing everything backwards. Right, so this is where we are. The leaves are pretty squished. Don't know how well you can see the leaves from the angle that you're at. But yeah, honestly, I'm not even sure where to start. So if I pick this up so I can get behind here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Right. So I'm now in the plant once again. I need, I think, to basically get some of this soil off because I want to put this closer to the back of this pot. Just thinking as well, I really do need to, don't know whether to fill in some soil in the bottom of here or not, and it's not something I want to be lifting in and out to check the height of, obviously. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. I think I am going to want some soil because obviously I've lost some. Okay, well let's start with that. Put some soil in the bottom of the pot. It's not a bad idea to give it a bit of a soil refresh anyway, to be honest. Not that it's been in here for that long, but... Okay, so we've got some fresh soil in the bottom there. I'm going to keep loosening this off. Okay, that's probably okay. So now I have to try and lift this whole thing. I don't think this is going to go very well. I'm going to have to try though, because there's literally no turning back now. Oh my god, okay. Roots in pot, ideally. Roots in pot. Okay, right, whoop! Okay, we fell. But that's okay. Nothing's snapped, so now I'm literally just going to try and poke all of these roots in. And look at them, like they're just crazy. They're just going to have to go back round. I can't put this in a bigger pot. I mean, really, maybe what I should be doing is chopping this. It probably is, honestly. Oh god, do I do that? Am I making a mistake? Because look how close it is. Literally, it's filled up the thing again. We're at the back here and the back and the front here. So, this isn't going to last, is it, at all? This is probably going to last like another month at the rate that this plant grows. I think I'm going to have to chop some of these back ones off, you know. Wish I'd thought of that before I put it in the pot. So I literally just said that I didn't want to keep going backwards and forwards. Okay. I'm gonna have to do it. We've come this far. Come this far, we can go a little bit further. Right, let's take it back out. Oh my god, come on. Right, okay. Let's chop, I don't know, here? Is that too extreme? I don't know. Right, cutters. Maybe we'll start at the back and we'll just work forwards. But I mean, that was literally the entire length of the thing, so I could do with taking a decent amount off here. Right, let's go with that bit. Do you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna take that off as well. So now, if we kind of line it up, see, it's still only gonna have about 6 inches, and that's not a lot when it comes to this plant, because it's mental. It grows so quickly. I'm thinking I might even chop here. I'm scared, but I think I might just do it. Oh god, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Not overthink it, let's just do it. That didn't even go all the way through. Neither did that. Brilliant. There we go. Okay. Right, so now let's try to untangle. Could probably lift you up a bit, to be honest, because you're looking at quite a lot of the floor. I don't know how much of me you'll be able to see. Right, I've just brought you up a little bit more. I don't know how much you can see, but so I've chopped 3 more chunks off of here, and this one has got a couple of nodes on it. I'm literally having to use my head. So I'm just trying to detangle. Oh my goodness. This is literally impossible because I can't use this hand because I've got to hold all of these leaves up. Oh my goodness. There is going to be some breakage here and I just can't do anything about it. Right, okay. Let's get that big chunky root out. Doesn't want to come out, that's marvellous. Come on. Right, this leaves me with this bit, which is still massive. Probably shouldn't pick it up like that, should I? I should probably get underneath it so I don't rip all the roots off. Okay, I might actually stand up and try and get these roots in the trough underneath. Is that gonna happen? Yeah, kind of, okay. Right, so what I'm gonna do is go right to the back of this pot. So it has got literally half of the pot to grow. So we don't have to get ourselves in this situation again for, I don't know, at least 6 months, I would hope. Right, so again, just trying to push the roots down under the soil, and there are so many broken roots in this. I'm honestly not surprised. That was a total nightmare. So what I need to do is obviously fill in, and I'm just gonna pull out the broken roots as I go. This is an awful lot of soil I don't want to waste just because it's got broken roots in it. So I'm just gonna kind of pick through it as I go and try and fill this in. Right. So yeah, again, not very exciting, so I will catch up with you once I have finished this bit. Okay, so I've literally just had to mix up a new batch of soil just to top this off, and then I'm going to need more anyway to sort out those cuttings, the extra cuttings that I've taken. So as I said before, I have filled up the bottom and I've made sure that this is very much on top of the soil. Hopefully you can see there. I might fill this up a little bit more at this end just because it's all going to sink down. But yeah, so I have achieved what I wanted. So this plant now has a pretty decent amount of room to keep growing in here, which obviously was the issue. So I'm going to try and put it back in place now. I'm going to get its tray and try and kind of move it back. I don't have the most amount of space here. Oh, you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to hoover where he came from first, because it is very mucky. So let me just get the hoover out. I'll sort that out and then we'll put him back in his place. And then we will pot up the other 3 cuttings, I think it was. Right, and then get that down here. How am I going to do this? I'm going to have to probably leave it right next to it and lift it because I don't think I'm going to be particularly strong enough. Oh god. Right, okay. Oh, don't fall over. Okay, right, now I'm just going to really carefully slide this back into its spot. Oh my goodness, right. Wow, can you see that? No, let me lift the camera up. You can just see a very, very muddy floor. Okay, so that's what it's looking like now. Obviously, it's looking slightly crazy. But once it's kind of come into its space again, it's going to look really, really beautiful. Like, look at that leaf. I love this plant. Like, it's such a pain. Do not get me wrong. I did not enjoy doing that. It was a nightmare. But it's so, so beautiful. So actually I feel like it might come forward a little bit more. Right. There is an enormous mess here. I'm just going to basically power through and pot these plants up because I might as well just get it all done and then do a really big tidy up at the end. I think that's going to be the best way to play this. Sorry, I'm just kneeling on some lekker. There we go. Right, so I'm going to have to move it down again onto the very messy floor. We're just going to have to ignore it. Sorry if it's going to really irritate anybody. So these are the cuttings that we have. So this is the one I think with all of the roots, and honestly I'm not keeping all of those roots on a plant that is sustaining those 2 leaves. So I'm just going to chop them. Well, first actually what I'm going to do is this is there's quite a lot of nodes on here, and I'm just going to cut and separate these 2. They're really quite close together, so it's not the easiest, but there we go. So this one is fine. This one literally just has, oh actually it's actually got that huge root attached to it. I didn't realise that. So that one's kind of done and ready to be potted up. This one is the one with all of these roots. So, and I'm literally just going to hack at it, unfortunately. Just like this. All going to come off. These aren't the sharpest sectors for stuff like this, but... Right, okay, I think I'm just going to leave it like that. That's not too bad. There's still, honestly, a huge amount of roots for the plant, but, oh no! So I was just holding onto these, and I've just snipped them off anyway. I literally don't know how that happened, but they've just come off my hand. So we'll just forget about that. And we're left with this, which honestly is going to be fine. It probably really didn't need those roots anyway. So that's literally the size leaf that this whole root system is supporting, so unnecessary in my opinion. This one, I'm going to leave those ones on there, that's fine. Root system, and then that's the leaf. That one's actually a pretty decent size. And then this is the last one here. Again, absolutely fine. And then this is the leaf. I do usually reuse my soil. The only reason I wasn't that keen on reusing this one is because it's an old soil mix that I don't particularly like anymore. But I wasn't going to fill this entire drop planter up with my new soil mix. Absolutely no way. That would have taken like a ridiculous amount of soil. And honestly, this the plant's clearly been fine in it. I've just realised I managed to uproot one of my string of hearts that I put off to the side, which then I ended up kind of using this space, and I've obviously uprooted it somehow. Right, so what do I even have now? 1, 2, I've got 4. Sorry, I'm literally kneeling on so much lacquer here. 4, so if I just do 2 and 2, I guess would make sense, or maybe the one with the big roots can go on its own. Let's see how it goes. If I do that one first, we'll see. Yeah, nothing else is going to fit in that pot, definitely. In fact, that pot is kind of too small for it, but that's the only one I've got up here, so that is the one we're going to use. It's going to be fine anyway, because it's not going to be in here for too long. I just want it to get established as its own individual plant, exactly the same as the other ones. And then, I don't know, I guess I'll sell these on my Etsy shop. I might keep a few, just because, I mean, obviously I do not need any more philodendron Dean McDowell, but I love the plant so much. I may end up keeping a couple. But obviously I'm not really going to be selling them until like spring anyway, because I need to get them established. I'm not going to be selling them anytime soon. I want to make sure they're all totally fine, especially because I didn't leave them to callus or anything. I don't just like pot them up and then put them straight on the Etsy shop. I'll keep them for a good, I mean, even if it was in the growing season, I'd keep them for a good few months to make sure they were absolutely fine before I put them up for sale. So that's the first one. And then this one has a pretty extensive root system as well, so I think that one's going to have to go on its own as well. So as I said in the beginning, I did water the plant recently because I was aware that I wanted to be chopping it soon. So I'm not going to water these propagations straight away because the soil in that big trough planter was really quite wet, so they just don't need watering now. I will keep an eye on it. Wait until this soil's completely dried out. Completely dried out, because obviously this soil is a bit drier than that one, so the plant, even though the soil looks kind of dry, the plant is not going to be thirsty. That is the second one. I'm trying to just stand these all up, and then I've got a lot of staking to do off camera after this. Another random root that's come off. So there's this one, and then I'm thinking I might plant these ones up together in a kind of biggish pot. Hopefully, honestly, these leaves are like crazy where they've been underneath the big leaves and they've moved around to try and get the light. I might actually put these up separately just because these roots are really quite big. I think that might be the best option. Or is it? I don't know. Let's see how the bigger one looks in a pot on its own. And I'll see if I think it's okay to put a second one in with it. Yeah, I do not think so. Okay, because that is really quite full with roots, so we'll just leave that one on its own. Right, okay, final one done. Okay, so that was slightly more stressful than I was anticipating that being. I've got honestly the biggest mess ever down here that I'm going to have to embark on clearing up now. But I am really glad to have that done. It was like weighing on my mind that I needed to sort this plant out. I cannot believe how empty this area looks now. It probably doesn't look that empty on camera, but compared to what it looked like before, I feel like there's like nothing down here. But anyway, I have now got, I'm just going to do a quick count up so I can tell you how many cuttings I got out of this plant. So I got 18 cuttings in total, which is like huge. It's a huge amount. So yeah, I'm going to be staking them all up and then just dotting them around somewhere to just acclimatise them all to being their own individual plants. And yeah, probably keeping a few because I literally can't help myself. I love the Dean McDowell. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry that it was just slightly chaotic. I'm just going to have to try and remember that next time this needs doing, not to do it on my own and to wait for help. Because yeah, that's the second time I've made this mistake now. I filmed both of them, so hopefully it was kind of like entertaining for you to watch me struggle with my huge plant. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you did like it, please do give me a thumbs up. It does mean a lot. And if you would like to see more of my content, then do subscribe to my channel. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.